What's going on, people? Welcome to the player ratings after a miserable, awful, embarrassing performance against Manchester City in the derby. We're here at Hotel Football, being looked after as always by Mr. Tony O'Neill. How you doing? You all right? Long-time supporter?
Long time. But, you know, you lads carry on.
Absolutely.
It's very late, by the way, very late.
It is
very late.
It is too late. all right, Tony. All right. Yeah, man. Let's get straight into this. I mean, this is going to be abysmal, but you can't only do player ratings when you win, you know? Can't only do player ratings when you win. David De Gea.
Oh, man. Do you know what, yeah? People are going to say, why are you giving this rating for a 5? But I feel like as bad as he was, he kept
Made saves, innit?
He made saves, you know what I mean? Like, I want to give this guy... if he never made them saves, I would have absolutely laid into him. For me, he's regressing. I see a player that doesn't look determined. He's lost his passion. And yes, you can make saves, and he's made saves. Does that mean he's not got the passion? But I just look at him, and the way he's kind of almost stopping our attacks is becoming... It's getting a bit of a joke right now. The amount of times he had the ball and he could have played it to Fred, Wan-Bissaka, you name it, Brandon Williams, and he got the ball and he just hung on to it and gave it to the centre-backs. I don't know if that's instruction from Ollie, but for
Another time he just knocked it completely long to a centre-half.
We've got to look at thinking seriously. Dean Henderson is doing brilliant at Sheffield United. Romero is doing good now. He's got clean sheets after clean sheets. Something needs to be done now. He needs to know that he's
not just bad form.
Yes,
he's bad form because he's still a phenomenal shot stopper.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like you have to do this because people don't take things into context. You're not discrediting anything he's done. No. He's been fantastic. But it looks like maybe the way the game's maybe changed slightly as a keeper has maybe caught up with him.
Yeah.
And two, it's like we're seeing uncharacteristic stuff from De Gea, man. Like when in the summer, just before the summer, it was like, is he going to sign? Is he not going to sign? That's where his head was at. But then he signs and you're thinking, right, we're going to have him back. And his season's kind of just been up and down.
I think, obviously it's an epitome of where United are in a minute, but I just look at him. Quality, undeniable quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unbelievable. I just question his heart and his desire to play at the top level. Okay. You know, that's why I question. So 5.
So 5, yeah. I would agree with a 5. Yeah. I'd agree with a 5 because based on the first half, if we'd carried on in that vein, considering we were losing badly as well, it was going to be 2s and 3s. Like, because the distribution of the time, I think he had to play Brandon Williams and he just kicked it straight out of play. And but what you do have to say before we move on is just quickly, I do think it's a coaching thing, a tactic thing, because the 2 centre halves, obviously, even when Harry Maguire's there, they come and get it, and it was like every time, just give it. I get it because you can't just lump it forward to Mason Greenwood against or Mendy or whatever.
Well, he was doing that a lot as well.
It was, but that's what I was going to say. Yeah. It was like they're taught to just bloody play out from the back, but then they don't have a clue what to do. Yeah. Then you're just going long anyway.
Forward.
A mess. An absolute mess. Wan-Bissaka, I'll go for.
I'll think another 5.
5, I'll go for. I thought that against Sterling, he did okay. Sterling's always going to look lively, always going to get into good positions because that's the way City play. He's always going to receive the ball in a very dangerous area. But I don't think he had that gilt-edged chance. But to be fair, he should have had a couple of goals today, Sterling. But that wasn't really Wan-Bissaka's fault for me, from where I was in. So I'll go over 5.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think today, people assume that Daniel James tracks back. You know what, mate? It gives a lot of space as well. Because at the end of the day, it's almost like Wan-Bissaka's taking on a lot. You know, when you take on a lot, you'll know the frailties of a player. And that, for me, looks like now, he's taking on too much now. Sometimes they're doubling up on him. And again, what does that do? Again, Aubameyang, you see it. He got caught in the kind of a hole. Today, Sterling was everywhere. He was in the false line. It was on the right wing, left wing, everywhere interchanging. But today, did Sterling pocket him? Did he really cause any danger? I don't think so. But then again, he didn't really offer much going forward. And that, again, is just down to the play we're playing in a minute. I think 5 doesn't really, show how bad we were. But I think 5 is just
I don't want it because I'm thinking now that's 2 5s there already. And I'm like, the performance was obviously worse than that. Really, people should really be getting, no one should be getting more than a 4. But apart from Brandon, we'll get there. But anyway, all right, cool. Lindelof.
Do you know what? Yeah, I was going to give a 0 until about the second half.
Yeah.
The second half is almost just salvaged his career.
Yeah.
I'll be real out here, man. You know my opinions on Lindelof, and I said it was an agenda, and I tweeted it out. There's no agenda with Lindelof. He just isn't good enough. And today he got exposed, mate. And I know he's next to Phil Jones. I get it. I get he's next to Phil Jones, and you know he'll rub in the worst of you. But for me, that slide tackle was absolutely disgraceful.
And it was after he was out of position from, I think, initially missing a header as well.
Disgraceful for me. That for me were. That's unforgivable. Slide tackle like that, mate. What are you doing? Stay on your feet. That's the one thing you learn as a defender. Stay on your feet. That's one thing you think of him. He's got a positive about him that he can read the game. But there,
no, but he couldn't. No, do you know what it is? He couldn't stay on his feet there because he's trying to slide for an interception. He's not trying to tackle someone. He's trying to get the interception, but to be in that position where you're out of position, if you get what I'm saying.
And that's happened a lot this season. I mean, he has cost us a lot of points this season. And yes, he's had okay performances, but he's had okay performances. He's never ever come out of a game and you're thinking, brilliant, Lindelof. I just feel like there's not an agenda here. If you want top 4, I said it. If you want top 5, top 7, mid-table club, Lindelof is your guy. But if you want top 4 or serious title contenders, Lindelof is nowhere near the squad. He's a squad player at best for me. United need to look at getting another centre back in the summer. I'll be real out here. Bailly's injury prone. Smalling is obviously going to Roma. We need another centre back. It's crazy, man. We need another centre back. We just bought Harry Maguire, and we need a centre back. For me, he gets no more than 2.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say a 3 when I got to Lindelof, but I think
very generous.
And there's not much in it. I mean, he didn't have a good game today. He wasn't strong enough. Like you said, second half he got a little bit better on the ball, but the damage was already done. The damage was already done, and the mistakes were already made. Yeah, exactly. There wasn't really much for him to mark. And what they had to do, I thought between him and Phil Jones on the ball, they were just terrible.
Passing it back to each other. That's all they did. Passing it back to each other.
We used to say the Chuckle Brothers with Smalling and Jones, but that's how
I'm not going with the ball. You have it. No, you have it. Bloody hell, mate. Sort yourselves out.
On to Phil Jones.
Mate, another non-applicable. Can we do that again?
NA, yeah.
NA, bro.
Yeah.
N-fucking-A, mate. I've had enough of this guy. I said to you, Man United Football Club, Sheffield United, mate, he should never have played again for United. And this is no disrespect to the guy, yeah? It was, he's done well. 10 years he's been at United, survived 10 years. For me, United are relying on bloody Phil Jones. Absolute comical today. Absolute.
There's a time in the second half as well. He nearly injured him. I think he injured himself. Do you see that when he went in for the ball? He missed. I think he missed the ball.
Oh my God! You know what?
And then he was stretching, and he think, oh, here we go, he's injured.
Lucky Mahrez wasn't on no mercy mode today. If he wasn't on no mercy mode today, it could have been 7 or 8, mate. And he is he is an epitome of where United are. Absolutely inconsistent. A joke, and for me, it gets no more than 0, mate. 0 for me today. Absolute shock.
I'm trying to, you know me, I don't like to be too harsh or bash players and stuff, but I'm struggling. No, I'm struggling I'm trying to like say maybe a 1 then, or so, or a 2, but I'm clutching, man. He didn't have a good game.
What is that pathetic? What are you doing for the De Bruyne? Oh my!
He got sat down. He got sat down like carpet time at flipping primary school. You work in a school. It's carpet time, bruv. Story time.
You're on the edge of the box. Stay on your feet. De Bruyne, show him on the left. I get his left foot, his both footed.
Yeah.
Show him on your left. What do you do? Yeah, you know what, mate? Do another Boateng .2.
Yeah.
He did a Boateng .2.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Messi sat him down. Yeah.
Boy, man.
And then yeah. Brandon Williams, I'll give him a 6.
Man of the match.
I'll give him a 6. It's hard to give more than that because the whole team performance. Like I know individually you could say, all right, you could get a 7 but we didn't score from anything or anything. I'll give him a solid 6. It could have been more if the team performance was better. I thought he was up and down that wing. He skipped past a couple of players. The passes into feet. It's like, I keep saying it with Brandon Williams. It's like, I know he's young and he can't play every game yet. That's fine. I understand that. I really do. But what you do get from the young lad is fearlessness, intensity, pace, skill.
What it's all about. He knows what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's crazy how we're showcasing a 20-year-old who's the man of the match, left back man of the match, mate. He, for me, didn't look out of place in that game. He looked like a man that was ready. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, mate, if you don't know anything in football, just know that this guy is ready and he will take Shaw's place. Shaw, for me, has offered nothing as a left back for United. This guy, Brandon Williams, mate, Mahrez, you know what, Mahrez? Again, maybe he got a few paces, but every ball he was willing to battle. He was willing to go forward. When Foden came on, you see when Foden came on? Straight away, mate. Nah, mate, see you later.
Battle of the youngsters is like, no.
The youngsters, I mean, I think the City fans were cheering, and then next thing you know,
Brandon Williams got out with the ball,
Get out the ball, see you later.
Yeah.
Every time he was the one adventurous.
Yeah.
It's just like a shame that United didn't look after him. Because at the end of the day, there was a lot of balls that David Gea could have pinned over. There was a lot of times where it was a free. I just feel like he's the only shining light of today. 6 for me.
He is, yeah, 6. Into midfield. Or did we have one? Yeah. Did we have one? You could say we had no midfield, so it's a 0 for all of them. But we'll do it. Let's start with Fred.
Do you know what? Again, fight, trying to move forward, move forward quicker. But sometimes he got caught in 2 moments. Yeah. You know what I mean? When he was pressing forward, he left space in behind. Yeah. And that was for me. That's nothing against Fred. No. He's trying hard, but you know what I mean? You got to know that when you're pressing, you've got to know that you're with Andres Pereira. And you can't do that. You need to be showing that you're the better man and you have the intelligence. Because I feel like he's a mainstay in the midfield and he should have realised that Fred is not a sitting midfielder. If the two are going to be sitting midfielders, Fred needs to be the one that's sitting. And I felt like he left a bit, positions here and there. But then again, always positive, always trying to move the ball quicker. I thought his intensity was what led United in the second half and, to break forward. Do you know what? I think no more than a 5. I think today, did he do anything comically? I think he could have got at, what's his name, the first scorer, Bernard Silva. I thought him and Jones could have got at him more, closing down more. But I think the intensity, no more than a 5 for me.
I would have gone with 4. I would have gone with 4 because he was part of a midfield that just was non-existent, that got out tacticked, that had Bernardo Silva dropping into there, which that comes to the manager, which we'll talk about obviously towards the end. But he didn't have his best game. He tried where he could, but there were times he got caught, a couple of little niggly fouls. But he was probably the best out of the bunch. I have a bad bunch, but 4, 5. Actually, a 5. A flat 5. All right, fair enough, because I'll probably give the others 4. Pereira.
What are we doing with this guy, man? What are we doing, man? Like, I get it, we have a depleted squad, but I think even a depleted squad, he'd still be starting. And that just shows where United are at the minute. He was starting against Chelsea when we had Pogba, you know what I mean, had a midfield that was all, decent, you know what I mean. Everything was positive and he was still starting, you know what I mean. I just look at him and I think, what does he offer? Doesn't press. He has got technical ability, but he's very, very wasteful. He's not very consistent in performances. He doesn't, break through the line. Does he find a killer pass? He's always hesitating. I don't know, man. You know what? I don't even know if I'm about 4, man. I think 3, man. I think he was lost out there. I think he looked, for me, out of his depth in that game, and that was De Bruyne just running around strings, mate.
It was heartbreaking. Yeah. It was heartbreaking to watch. It was very difficult to watch because you're looking at the gulf in class between Rodri, Gundogan, and De Bruyne, and then our midfield 3. It just hurt. It really did hurt. It pains you to see, and no, we're no different. They've gone and done this to many other teams they play against, but it just, especially because they are. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? So, and to me, I don't even really only blame Pereira for it because the pairing, Fred and Pereira in there, just
not work.
I do think Matic would have been a better pairing in there. I don't know whether it was because there was 4 games and a bounce he couldn't have played, but for the balance of having some form of control in there or calmness, Matic would have brought that. I feel alongside Fred better than Pereira and Fred for me. I would have given him a 4, but 3, 4, it's pretty much the same thing. Jesse Lingard, that is the true meaning today of non-applicable. 0. Big fat. If you could have minuses, then you'd probably dip into minuses.
Mate, he looked like a Sunday League footballer. He looked like a player that just was running out there.
And it's not nice to see, is it? Because you've seen him when he's played well for us. Because one guy actually said to me today, he goes, but was there ever a player flex? Or did we just overgas from the FA Cup final?
I feel like when Rand says, in a better squad, would he be better? I just think that sometimes you just know where your league's at. And I think he's a championship player best. And I
thinks he could go Leicester or something and show and a better manager, better system. But I think
sometimes stats prove who you are. And he has got no goals and assists. Surely you'd have some kind of something. You know what I mean? I feel like we get caught up in the moment. Jesse Lingard will prove it under the manager. I just think sometimes he hasn't just got it, and that is no way. You know what I mean? I've seen so many reserve players that have come up from the reserves. They've shown a bit, but then they've faded away into non-leagues. You know what I mean? I just feel like Jesse Lingard. You know what I mean? Come through the youth. I respect him, man, but I just feel like just not at this football club. I think he's
clever enough to play in the Premier League. I don't think he's a championship player.
But I just think like Man United quality. I feel like if he comes a squad player at United, then fair enough. But he should not be the focal point of United.
Oli keeps persisting with him as well.
I think he just
and it's
finds-
like you could see our midfield needed changing after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You could see Bernardo Silva was dropping in.
Yeah.
You could see they had 4 against R2 because obviously Lingard's a 10.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Ole
you needed to
Solskjaer's-
change
yeah.
it.
I feel like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is finding that performance
Yeah.
that's just sometimes will just never come.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
finding that
trying to
Arsenal
wait
way.
for it. He's trying to.
That's what he's
Yeah,
kind of. It's
yeah,
giving
yeah.
him time, but
Surely
he's looking
now.
for the Arsenal ways.
Yeah,
He's looking
yeah.
for the Chelsea ways
Yeah.
where he had that brilliant game. Over consistency, that's been Achilles' heel. Just no consistency.
Yeah, I agree. Let us know what you guys think about the midfield there. On to the front three now. Let's do these. Marcus Rashford got a goal in the second half,
I think that.
but other than that,
I think stats.
very
prove it.
starved
Great.
of anything. Wasn't great.
Again, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Just looked out of his depth. And he just
5, I
looked-
would go with.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Let's say he got a goal.
I
but-
think 4, man. I think 4. You know, I think if he didn't get his goal, where would he be? Like, I just don't know. I just sometimes feel like you get a player of the month, Rashford, and then you get a Rashford that just, you know, what I mean, non-existent.
Captain today as well.
Captain today, you know what I mean? Fair play to him at 22. What is it, captain? But I just look at it and I feel like around maybe quality is good, but when he's around no quality,
Yeah.
then it becomes that of no quality.
Yeah.
Do you understand that? So when he's around, like, no respect, that's a Lingard, Pereira, he almost kind of sucks into that kind of, you know, weak kind of, you know, player. And I feel like, yeah, no more than a 4, man. I think he got his goal, fair enough. He got his goal, but I just feel like the whole kind of setup today just didn't suit him.
Okay,
Just
fair
didn't
enough.
suit him.
Again, a 4 and a 5. It's very slim between the two. Let us know what you guys would go with. Up front, Mason Greenwood got the assist for Rashford's
yeah.
goal. I keep starting on some form of positives,
Yeah.
but out of the game, obviously, because they weren't, because we got
I think
battered. But
First half non-existent. I'll be real out here. First half non-existent. Second half came into his game. He was on the right side trying to get out Mendy. I thought when Gomez came on, it kind of like complemented everything. There's more, you know, more interchange and stuff like that. But I just feel like again, we're bearing the fruits of a guy who's just about starting his fruits. Like it's just about getting his step. You're trying to put him out there into a battle, a war. You know what I mean? He's not ready for the war yet. He's ready to just nurture him. Build it up like that, and then, you know, I mean, when it's, you know, you don't want to bring him out there, and then everyone's slating him off and saying, "Oh,
but he had to play. We wanted him to play. We wanted to play.
I get it, but it just shows when you're playing a top quality team, it hurts more because you're saying, "Oh, it's Mason Greenwood. We've got Mason Greenwood," and it's like we should be getting a Sancho or a quality player on the right hand side. I get it, Mason Greenwood's brilliant, and I love him, man. He's going to be a top quality player, but just right now, we shouldn't be playing him right now. We should be
be in a
nurturing him.
position where that doesn't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? Like I don't say he should not be played, but he should be in a position where he's starting every week and United are relying on him.
Well,
That's what
but he's not starting
I
every week.
think-
Solskjaer won't even pick him.
I think, you know what? I reckon a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he wasn't great, but I also think he kind of, you know, second half,
Yeah.
he brought it up to a 5.
Daniel James. I was disappointed in James. As a lot of other players, I feel again it wasn't a game for his
fouled out,
attributes.
mate.
We keep saying the same thing after every game, and I think it's so evident.
Yeah.
Someone mentioned to me on the fan cams. Who was it? I think it was Aaron actually. He said, if coached, you know, properly, there could be. There's a player in there. There's a player in there. He's got talent.
he's got talent.
He's young. He's coming up to this level of football, but I just think with what he possesses now, his main attribute is that direct pace.
Yeah.
And when we ain't got the ball, and when we're not at the races, and we're not playing counter-attacking football, it makes him null and void. It makes him just not in the game.
No.
There's a couple of times he tried to run at Mendy, no joy. Couple of passes he tried to bounce off, no joy. I'd give him a 3.
I think he's generous, mate.
I'd give him a 3.
I'm generous, mate. I think a 1, mate. I'll be real out here. He's like a battery that's died out, mate. I don't know, man. I think he's been found out. I think he's a one-trick pony, and I'm not just disrespecting Daniel James because I feel like when he started, I thought he was brilliant, but I just feel like he's been found out. He's now not improving his game. Now he's just sticking to what he thinks is good, and it works in the Championship. I get it. It works in the Championship.
Probably what he's been told as well.
Yeah,
Just
he's been
Ollie's
told as
picking
well.
him every time,
Yeah,
making
he
him
is.
the main man,
Yeah.
making him play the majority games, start the majority games, and saying probably, you just keep running, son.
You know what I mean? Like Arsenal game, I feel like
Need
Burnley
invention.
game. I feel Burnley game, like people got a bit gassed when he played, but I thought he was in patches. He came and again,
He does play in patches.
Yeah, he plays in patches, and then when he plays in patches, he almost deteriorates. Arsenal non-existent. Now it's become like it was literally. That's what I keep saying. We had almost like the guy said, we had 9 men because just Lingard and Daniel James were non-effective. So it almost takes him out of the game. All he does is track back, but then he's not even tracking back now because Wan-Bissaka's getting, isolated. So I think no more than a 1 today. That's not disrespecting him. I just feel like he's been found out. I feel like he's been found out.
Okay, let us know what you guys think about those play ratings for the players that started the match. Let's look at the substitutions. Matic came on.
Yeah.
I just think, look, for the stick that Matic gets...
I think the stats don't prove a lot, man. I see Ricky putting the stat up about four interceptions. What I feel like, City were just at ease, and it's a different game. First half, second half, intensity. City were playing this first half. He would not have made all the interceptions, but I just feel like he came in and sat. What more do you want? Like, what should I praise that now? Well, that's what I keep saying. The standards have dropped. He came in, he sat, he straightened the ball about. That's all he did. But did he come on and did he do anything wrong? I don't think he did anything wrong. That's why I'm giving him a 5.
Yeah,
because he didn't do
5.
anything wrong.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be the only sensible option.
He gave one ball away where he just didn't look, and then they were in on a counter attack.
Yeah.
But other than that, he played a good couple of passes forward. But the game was already done by then. 5. Angel Gomez come on.
I think he did well.
Do you know what? I think he did well, but then I think the final thing, I was a bit disappointed. The key standout moment was that time he's running through. I think he's just got to slide in Daniel James.
I think everyone's heads dropped though.
Yeah, but he looked bright. He tried to get on. Like Ricky said in the fan cam, he led to a tackle that kind of initiated where we got the goal from.
I know. Did he even play up in the number 10 role?
Listen, that's what I was going to say now, because there was times we were playing defensive midfield. I think when he came on, it was like a 4-1, 2-1, 2.
Freestyle, man. Freestyle. Listen, man. I keep telling you, bro.
It was literally a 4-1, 2-1-2. That's what I saw. No. I saw 4 at the back. Then I saw Matic instead. Then I saw Pereira and Gomez. Then I saw Greenwood and
I know, that's what I keep saying, and I always say, "Oh, they're gonna freestyle, man." That's what I keep saying. Like, we don't know where everyone's playing. It's almost like 3 up top, 1 holding, and then it's like 4 at the back, and I'm like, "What is going on?" So I don't know, but I thought he was bright when he came on. I thought he gave the ball away a couple of times. Yeah. I think no more than a 5. I think he didn't do anything bad. And that is what he came in the second half, different game. That's why I'm giving him a 5, because it was a different ball game last 25 minutes. City won on the back foot, so yeah.
Martial, difficult to talk about, brought on for 8 minutes.
I think you can't even...
Don't even give him a rating.
No rating.
And that leads us on to Solskjaer for this rating. The writing was on the wall early, tactically out-tacticked, out-fought. You could see after 10 minutes that we needed to make a tactical change. And I feel like his faith in Jesse Lingard actually, and him maybe not wanting to embarrass him and make a scene out of it, stopped him changing it earlier, because you could see it wasn't working. You could see we needed a change in midfield, and for me the change would have been Matic on for Lingard earlier for me, and because I would have went with that midfield of Matic and Fred, and then Pereira in the 10 or Mata in the 10.
Yeah. I think he set them up fail, and I say that because of the fact that he told the players to press and give every single energy in them first 10 minutes. As a manager, I get it, you try to do that, you set a tempo. But
we didn't even really do that. It wasn't really like we were all over them, camping them in, pressing in waves and numbers. It didn't really happen.
That's the Old Trafford crowd, man. You can get sucked into this idea that we're on top, but really
City were just we're just tying up our shoelaces before we start running.
Exactly, and I felt like we gassed out after that first 10 minutes. Initially, we gassed out, lack of ideas, no shape, no ideas, and it was almost us. You know what? Hoof it up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Keep compact, but City showed their quality. I don't think you can give him more than a 1. I really don't, man. I just feel like he got out-tactic, out-schooled, out-fought, and just ran out of ideas. Like he is now. I think he's run out of ideas.
Well, I'm going to say to you, I think you're being generous. I would have gone with a 0. I'd have gone with 0. You can't perform. On that performance, he gets a 0 from me. You can't be that tactically inept for that period of time. It's true, man. I'm calling it as I see it in this game. Yeah? And I just feel like he didn't show me anything in game management to change the pattern of play, to change the impetus of City, to stifle them. He didn't react in game. I saw Mikel Arteta yesterday get done without conceding, against Leeds.
Yeah, but second half.
Second half, got a reaction out of his team. I know it's a different ball game, but I'm saying in terms of making an impact on your team and then seeing it, I can't see that.
No.
And I didn't see that today. So for me, and we lost heavily. We lost comfortably, man. It was a walk in the park. It should have been 5-0.
Why can't you make a substitution at 30 minutes?
There you go.
You know,
ruthless. But I get, hopefully he can redeem himself. Hopefully he gets a 9 against Norwich and picks the right team. We win 4-0. But today, it's a 0 from me. Listen, I don't know if there's too much to disagree about. In the player range, probably only between, how can you even give someone a 3? It should have been a 0. I don't know. Let us know what you guys think about the player ratings, and hopefully we see you guys on Thursday with 3 points in the bag, because Saturday, not Thursday. We see you guys on Saturday with 3 points in the bag against Norwich, because it is much needed, man. Peace. Big thank you to you guys for watching the latest of our videos, and if you want to check out more, make sure you do that just to the right of me. We are the biggest and best Manchester United channel in the world. Make sure you check us out on all of the socials as well: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. The socials are along the bottom. Peace.